I've conditioned you too much into okay.
Shooting the LGBTQ club in Colorado Springs. 5 people were killed, 25 more wounded. The shooter is in custody. Police say he was taken down by people inside the club. We're going to hear from the mayor of Colorado Springs in a moment. First, Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman is on the scene with the latest. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. As we learn more about the horror inside that club, we're also learning more about the heroes. 2 patrons who officials say charged that suspect, one of them grabbing his handgun, pummeling the suspect with it, then they pinned him to the ground. That's where he was when police arrive, and officials say that those 2 patrons saved lives. This morning, authorities in Colorado urgently investigating that deadly shooting at the LGBTQ nightclub over the weekend.
Battalion 2, Battalion 4, reports of 10 people shot. Let's make this a mass casualty.
It was a mass casualty event, leaving 5 dead, dozens wounded.
I was bartending, making drinks, and then I heard like a pop, pop, pop. Once I looked up and I saw the shadow of a grown man wielding a rifle.
Those 911 calls pouring in. At 11:57 p.m., within seconds of those first calls, Colorado Springs police dispatching.
They're not saying patrons, they're saying patrons, chat.
Officers. By midnight, the first officer arriving at the scene, and by 12:02 a.m., 5 minutes after that first call, the suspect in custody. Authorities say the suspect was armed with an assault rifle and another gun, and he carried multiple magazines of ammunition.
Glass started just shattering all around me.
But the city's police chief telling me 2 patrons charged the shooter. They risked their lives.
They absolutely risked their lives.
Heroes. There's no other word for that, right?
Absolutely.
Police say the suspect, 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich, had burst into Club Q just after it had hosted a drag show that night. Law enforcement is now investigating the massacre as a hate crime. Club Q, known by many here as a safe haven that had served the LGBT.
I wonder which conservative will be the first to say if they don't want to get shot, they should stop doing drag brunch. Because you know it's coming. You know? Like, we'll be talking about libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok literally that same morning, yesterday, as we covered, immediately turned their psychotic attention, as they are terrorists, immediately turned their attention to another organization in Colorado that hosts like drag, like a drag story time or something. Like literally, they saw a hate crime that occurred. Okay, they saw what was possibly a hate crime at the time in a gay nightclub where 5 people died and numerous people were injured. Like 18 people were injured in the original accounts, and they fucking decided to turn the crosshairs over. Decided to turn the crosshairs to another Colorado LGBT group.
LGBTQ members of this community for 2 decades. But the owners say the gunman was a stranger to them.
He's never spent money on a credit card or ID ever scanned in our business that we know of. I think this was a community of target for him.
He may not have been known at the club, but he was known to law enforcement. The suspect arrested last June following an alleged bomb threat incident against his mother. Among the 5 confirmed dead was Club Q's own Daniel.
Leftists are using a mass shooting to try and blackmail us into accepting the castration and sexualization of children. These people are just beyond evil. I have never felt more motivated to oppose everything they stand for with every fiber of my being. Despicable scumbags. People die and the first thing they think is, yes, we can use this as ammo against conservatives who don't think children should be exposed to drag shows. Soulless demons, evil to the core, truly. 43,000 likes, dude. The amount of things I want to say right now about Matt Walsh in general are, of course, not appropriate to say, but I'll keep thinking them. I will keep wishing him awful things. Yeah, redacted. The man who led the terrorization of a children's hospital inspired yet another mass shooter is claiming to be a victim. Not even a simulation theorist can make this up. Yeah, I mean, he is. He is literally a fucking terrorist. That is it. But because the victims of his terror are some of the most marginalized motherfuckers out there, no one gives a shit. People do not hold considerations for trans people because people, like even the kindest individuals, even like the most, normie take that you're going to get from someone is just like, yeah, they're kind of fucking weird, but like, I don't care. Right. That's usually the extent. That's the best you can expect from a lot of people. Right. Like saying like, I don't care. They should not be getting murdered. I don't really give a shit. Stop talking to me about children's genitals, as we saw in this past election cycle, because the anti-trans narratives were quite literally fucking, prominent, and it was unsuccessful. I don't know what to say about this other than like, I mean, seeing 43,000 likes on this is really sad. It does make me very sad. I'll admit. Like seeing this get so much support makes me very, very upset. Okay? Because it is quite literally, like, I mean, he is quite literally responsible for the shit like this. Okay? He wants this to happen, even if he's not directly responsible for this prior potential hate crime here in Colorado that happened 2 nights ago. He wants it to happen. Like, that's his goal. That's why he's constantly talking about gender affirming surgeries as like mutilation and things like that. I don't know. This sums up how I feel about this. Matt Walsh isn't upset that someone shot up a gay bar. He's upset that more people weren't killed. He has a bloodlust for the murder of LGBTQ people. He's doubling down on it and wants more of it. Yeah, 100%. He didn't condemn it, and he basically said, keep doing it, by the way. How else do you interpret opposing everything they stand for with every being of my body? Yeah. No, that is what it is. Like, the saddest part is like, it's a grift. That's what's so crazy. Like, he has hatred in his heart for trans people, sure. But the main reason why he's pumping this narrative is because, like, it works well. It says a lot about, like, the attitude that people have. Because, like, he can get such favorable coverage. You can go on Joe Rogan. Like, this man went on Joe Rogan, like, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. More atrocity stories. Sorry, hold on. I'm just tweeting. Jones. And his clear goal is to have more atrocities towards LGBT people like the one he isn't even condemning here. I don't know what else to say about this. Elon Musk also loves this shit and was talking with Chaya Raichik, who runs Libs of TikTok recently. Yeah, it's just stuff like this makes me feel extra hopeless, you know, seeing stuff like this. But ultimately, you know, it's going to be all right. That's all I can say. Hopefully, like, it's going to be all right. There are, you know, every day it's getting better and better. And that's part of the reason why these fucking reactionary scumbags are losing it extra hard. I mean, you saw Ben Shapiro screaming about gay marriage. You know, you saw him screaming about gay marriage recently with Matt Walsh, right? Is it though? Yes, it is. It is. It is. It is getting better. It is getting better. It's just this is how progress works. You know, you just have to continue thinking positively. Okay? After midterms, do you think this is the last gasp? Then they will crank it up as they know they'll lose? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. I think they're not thinking. I think they're just like looking right in front of their noses and seeing people not punish them at all. And so they're just amping up the narrative. They don't care.
Davis Aston. He'd recently moved to Colorado from Oklahoma and became a bartender. His mother said of him, "He was our baby." And at least 2 victims remain in critical condition this morning, including Mark Slaw's sister.
There's a lot of surgery that went on. There's a lot of trauma that she's taken.
And Slaw's younger brother also shot.
It's a nightmare come true.
Now, there are several memorials like this here in this town, and survivors are asking if they can ever feel safe in Club Q again. Authorities are trying to learn what the motive was here, when this was planned, and how the suspect obtained those firearms, whether it was even legal for him to possess firearms, given his previous charges last year of kidnapping and making bomb threats.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. By the way, the Colorado shooter was stopped by an Army veteran and a drag queen stomping on him with her heels. The shooter was beaten so badly they thought he was dead. Okay? And then the cops actually cuffed and detained the guy, stopped them, and wouldn't let him go find his wounded family members. When the police arrived a few minutes later, the gunman was no longer struggling. Mr. Fierro said, and he feared that he had killed him. The suspect in the shooting was taken into custody and remained hospitalized on Monday afternoon. Mr. Fierro said he was covered in blood when the police arrived, and officers tackled him and put him in handcuffs. He said he was held in a police car for more than an hour and screamed and pleaded to be let go so that he could see what had happened to his family. That's what the cops did. The cops didn't protect this community. The community itself protected it. The only thing the cops did was come over and fucking arrest the guy who had actually bravely, courageously stopped the shooter. Remember that. Richard M. Fierro said he was at a table in Club Q with his wife, daughter, and friends on Saturday watching a drag show when the sudden flash of gunfire ripped across the nightclub. His instincts from 4 combat deployments as an Army officer to Iraq and Afghanistan instantly kicked in. Fight back, he told himself. I don't know exactly what I did. I just went into combat mode, Mr. Fierro said, shaking his head. I just know I have to kill this guy before he kills us. The authorities are holding Anderson Lee Aldrich, 22, on charges of killing 5 people and say that at least 18 more people were injured in a rampage of the club that lasted only a few minutes. The death toll could have been much higher, officials said on Sunday, if patrons of the bar had not stopped the gunman. Mr. Fierro's description of what happened in those moments in Club Q closely matches accounts given by the police and city officials and the club's owners, who have reviewed security footage from the massacre. When they were shown a picture of Mr. Fierro on Monday, one club owner, Nick Greska, said that he looked like the man who took down the gunman. I don't even know his name, Mr. Greska said, and I would really like to meet him. When the shooting started, Mr. Fierro said he hit the floor, pulling a friend down with him. As bullets sprayed, he saw the gunman move towards the bar, toward a door leading to a patio where dozens of bar patrons had fled. Mr. Fierro, who served in the Army for 15 years, said he raced across the room, grabbed the gunman by the handle on the back of his body armor, pulled him to the floor, and jumped on top of him. Was he shooting at the time? Was he about to shoot? I don't know. I just knew I had to take him down. By the way, this is a very common occurrence. Like, this is literally how most of the fucking shootings end. Like, unarmed people in the vicinity have a way higher likelihood of ending mass shootings than the cops do. Unless you consider, like, a mass shooter actually running out of bullets or killing himself to be, like, a cop apprehension. So remember that. Remember that next time motherfuckers say, like, oh, man, You know, this is why we have cops. Like, they don't do shit. They care more about their own safety and security than anything else. Or good guys with a gun, Lamont? No. The most common occurrence is a good guy without a gun. That's not true. Yeah, cops don't detain. They mostly contain. Exactly. And for people saying, bro, I wish that guy had a gun, the veteran had a gun. What do you mean, dude? Why? He stopped them. He didn't need a gun to stop him. That's the point. The gunman, who Mr. Fierro estimated weighed more than 300 pounds, sprawled onto the floor, his military-style rifle just landing out of reach. Mr. Fierro started to go for the rifle, but then saw the gunman had a pistol as well. I grabbed the gun out of his hand and just started hitting him in the head over and over. He pistol whipped this little bitch boy, by the way. Yeah, no, he was. I saw photos of him. He's a big boy. The fucking piece of shit psycho who went in to do a mass shooting. As the fight continued, he said he yelled for club patrons to help him. A man grabbed the rifle and moved it away for safety. A drag dancer stomped on the gunman with her high heels. The whole time, Mr. Fierro said he kept pummeling the shooter's head while the two men screamed obscenities at each other. When police arrived a few minutes later, the gunman was no longer struggling, Mr. Fierro said, and he feared that he had killed him. The suspect in the shooting was taken into custody and remained hospitalized on Monday afternoon. Mr. Fierro said he was covered in blood when the police arrived, and officers tackled him and put him in handcuffs. He said he was held in a police car for more than an hour and screamed and pleaded to be let go so that he could see what had happened to his family. Mr. Fierro, who owns a local brewery, said that on combat deployments with the Army he had been shot at and had seen roadside bombs shred trucks at his platoon. His record showed that he was awarded a Bronze Star twice. The experiences of combat still haunt him, he said, and the psychological and physical toll of deployments were why he left the Army. That I never thought he would have to deal with that kind of violence at home. I was done with war, he said. And that's how they ended. New York Times put like the patriotic spin to it, but ultimately this dude is fucking badass, like a hero. Real hero shit. If he had a gun, the cops would have probably shot him, for the record, okay? So it's good that he didn't have a gun. And he didn't need a gun to stop this fucking monster, psycho, piece of shit animal.
Joining us.
Anyway, here is the Colorado Springs mayor who spoke about the deadly mass shooting at the nightclub as well.
Now is the mayor of Colorado Springs, John Suthers. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for being here. I know it's been a trying weekend, an emotional weekend for you all, so we appreciate the time. Can you tell us?
Let me guess, none of you lefties have a problem with these clowns wielding their AR-15s around children with their faces obscured because trans and stuff. Oh yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse mocking leftists for guarding an LGBTQ event and then having to delete the tweet because a mass shooting happened at a gay nightclub hours later is pretty on brand for him. Yep. And did he not hear about the local business that was firebombed in Tulsa for hosting an LGBTQ plus event? These people are fucking evil. He did hear about it, most likely. He just doesn't care. Once again, these guys do not care. There is no consistency there. They literally are openly stating it too. The more comfortable they get, the more they are showcasing. The more comfortable they get, the more they just openly state that they want blood, they want violence, they want guns only in their hands. They want guns and protection only for themselves. They want to use those guns also on marginalized people. That's it.
First, do you have a better indication now of what a motive might have been here for this shooting?
The motive is still under investigation. It has the trappings of a hate crime, but we're going to have to see what the investigation shows in terms of, social media and things like that to make a clear determination exactly what the motive was.
I don't trust the CSPD on this, by the way. So the FBI is also working on it. I mean, they're all fucking pieces of shit, but at least the FBI is a little bit better than the CSPD. Colorado Springs Police Department will try to entrap and disarm leftists simply for training with firearms while letting the Club Q shooter keep his, even after arresting him for threatening to kill his mother with them. Colorado Springs police attempted to manufacture a firearms trafficking conspiracy by encouraging leftists to make illegal firearms purchases. This is why I always fucking tell you, motherfuckers are fed posting. Whenever someone says, let's do some direct action, comrade. Let's do some violent direct action, comrade. Know that they're, you're probably talking to a fucking fed. Colorado Springs is also very conservative, as we talked about already. Colorado Springs is like a safe haven for some of the most vicious evangelical anti-LGBT fucking institutions. So just keep that in mind, as we talked about yesterday. There's a military base there too. Yeah.
Just how armed was the suspect? We have indication of two weapons, I believe, but also how much ammo did he have going in?
I'm not sure that's a matter of public information at this point in time, but he had considerable ammo. I don't think the precise nature the police have commented on at this point in time, but he was extremely well armed.
And we're talking about just this arrest back in 2021 of this suspect, and you all have a law there, red flag law as well. From what you can tell, after that arrest, should this suspect have been allowed?
No, because his records were sealed, as a matter of fact. His own mom fucking called the cops saying that this dude was trying to make a fucking bomb and blow it up. They couldn't find him at his own house. They found him like a house down, a mile away from his own house. He was basically fucking, he kept these people in that house holed up at gunpoint, I think, because he got kidnapping charges on top of like menacing charges. And then that fucking kidnapping charge was sealed. They didn't prosecute him, and they sealed that charge. Now, there's also additional shit about his family, as I will mention, okay? His grandpappy is a fucking Clanty Republican. For those of you who don't know, remember when I always talk about like red enclaves in fucking California? Clanty is one of them, also known as Santee. Santee is the actual name. It's like near San Diego, but it's also known as fucking Clanty. Care to wonder why they call Santee Clanty? I think you can figure it out, right? Anyway. Here, hold on. I'm going to try to find the heavy.com article on the shooter because there's a lot of background information. I know that you guys don't want me to talk about it, but I think it's relevant. The fuck is the... Here. Anderson Lee Aldridge, 22-year-old suspect accused of perpetrating a mass shooting. They briefly brought up the prior charges from a year ago. He's the grandson of outgoing California Republican State Assembly member Randy Vopel, the former mayor of Santee, California, also known as Clanty, by the way. Vopel represents the 71st district in the San Diego area. There were calls to expel Vopel from the state assembly after he made comments comparing January 6th attack on the Capitol to the Revolutionary War. Aldridge's mother, Laura Vopel, has written posts praising Randy Vopel on Facebook and confirming he is her father. Now, do I think that like this guy has pull all the way back in fucking Colorado? No, I don't. I don't think that like some random fucking dickhead in San Diego has like actual pull in Colorado. I don't think so. But it's the same kind of fucking pieces of shit that are in positions of power, both in Colorado Springs and also in Clanty. So there you go. This is Lexington and Concord. First shot fired against tyranny. Randy Vopel, who was defeated in a Republican primary in August 2022, said in a San Diego Union Tribune article 3 days after January 6th. Tyranny will follow in the aftermath of the Biden swearing on January 20th. Vopel later tweeted that he condemned violence and lawlessness. Vopel and his office did not immediately respond to requests for comments from Heavy. District Attorney Michael Allen said the Colorado Springs shooting is being investigated through the lens of a hate crime, by the way. So there is that as well. And these guys will not look at hate crime as a first motive if it didn't fucking signal that it probably is, okay?
How to even possess weapons?
what we're going to find out in the next couple of days, it's actually Colorado law that prevents law enforcement at this point in time as commenting on any prior criminal activity. But I think the district attorney will go to court today and will be able to comment on any prior interaction with the police fairly quickly, hopefully in the next couple of days.
Mr. Mayor, just how much can you say about the reports of those two heroes inside?
The district attorney is also a piece of shit.
One who took one of the guns and actually struck the suspect, another who helped subdue him as well. Had it not been for those two, how much worse could this have been?
Well, you think the police were there within 3 minutes after the dispatch. Dispatch is 11:57. Police arrive at 12 o'clock. This incident is over by 12:02.
Yeah, incident is over not because of police presence, though. Incident is over because of the patrons.
Largely because of the heroic actions of people in the bar who took a weapon, used that weapon to disable this individual. If this had gone on for several minutes more and that heroic action had not been taken, I can only imagine how many more fatalities we might have had.
They didn't use the weapon to disable the fucking guy. They beat him to a fucking pulp with the butt end of the gun. It's not like they shot him with his own weapon.
They clearly save lives, and it's incredibly heroic and courageous action on their part.
What do you say now to assure the community of safety moving forward when something like this happens?
Well, the groundswell of support in the community is amazing. There's been a number of vigils already. I think there'll be more today. This community will rally, as it has before, in regard to incidents of this nature. And we're going to show that this is a very welcoming community. As I say, the actions of this single individual, whatever his motivations, don't reflect the city of Colorado Springs.
Mr. Mayor, we thank you for your time. I know a lot of healing has to take place in that community now, but we appreciate you updating our viewers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, TJ.
And just thinking of all that have been impacted by that tragedy.
Just the horror. I've been here with you all a lot of Mondays. We start just like this.
I know. All right, gentlemen.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
We're going to turn to
Colorado Springs, a very welcoming area. A very welcoming area, which also happens to host Focus on the Family. Here. Who calls it Clanty? The left-wing media? No, motherfucker. Black and brown people that live near Santee. That's who calls it Clanty. Dumbass said left-wing media. Shut the fuck up, dude. No one in left-wing media even knows or gives a shit about your dumbass fucking white supremacist neighborhood. You stupid cocksucking motherfucker. You literally don't even live there, probably. You live in Idaho, but you're literally fucking out here. You're out here fucking trying to defend Santee because you heard people call it Clanty. You're like, oh, must defend it now. Idiot. Racist people are so fucking stupid. They have to like literally jump to every opportunity. It's like, oh, people are saying something is racist. Must defend it. Anyway, let's look at Focus on the Families. This is, by the way, this is going to be like a very charitable approach. Obviously, they're trying to fucking promote this, so they're not going to show you how hateful they are. But their entire job is to like monitor media and find gay shit, okay? Or whatever they consider to be gay shit and like eviscerate it, okay? Sheriff's Department investigating after man wears KKK hood while grocery shopping in Santee. Yeah. I mean, this is not gonna be enough for people to come to terms with that, but Always some of the most backwater fucking sister fucking inbred hicks that defend this shit too. Yeah. Beware, dude. Heil Titler. Beware the fucking master race. Oh my God. Yeah, this is Randy Vopel, American politician serving the California State Assembly in the 71st District. He serves as the vice chair of the Veterans Affairs, Aging, Long-Term Care, Public Employment, and Retirement Committees, and a member of the Insurance, Local Government, and Joint Legislative Audit Committees. He was born in Missouri. He enlisted in the Navy during the Vietnam War. He served on USS Buchanan, a guided missile destroyer. Vopel received the Combat Action Ribbon and military awards and became a member of the Santee City Council. And then he became the mayor of Santee until 2016. Vopel easily won the election in November 8th, 2016 to become a Republican member of the California State Assembly for District 71. Vopel at one point aligned himself with the Tea Party movement, saying that the Republican Party was too liberal. There you go. You know? Here. 10 things you need to know about Focus on the Family. Focus on the Family claims its mission is to help families thrive. Yet to anyone paying attention, it's clear that the organization is focused on one specific kind of family, and instead spends a lot of time, energy, and money advocating against equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people and their families. They've raised over $550 million over the past 5 years, making it one of the most well-funded anti-LGBT organizations in America. They invest in public education campaigns against LGBT equality, while their related organization, Citizen Link, supports radical anti-LGBT candidates who work against basic civil rights and legal protections. Focus on the Family promotes the harmful and discredited practice of conversion therapy. Remember, this is they're headquartered in Colorado Springs. Like, that's where they come from. These fucking freaks. They claiming just as there are many paths that may lead to a person to experience same-sex attractions, there are likewise multiple ways out. For years, they were behind Love One Out, a national tour preaching that same-sex attraction is preventable and treatable. In fact, even after the leading national organization promoting conversion therapy, Exodus International, shuttered their doors and apologized for the harm they've caused, Focus on the Family continues to endorse junk science rejected by every major medical and mental health organization to this day, blaming molestation, divorce, and straight up rebelling against societal norms for people's sexual orientation. Focus on the Family opposes allowing same-sex couples to adopt, saying that children of gay and lesbian parents are human guinea pigs in the same-sex family experiment. Focus on the Family believes that they know better than psychiatrists, actual doctors, when it comes to counseling transgender people. They call trans people mentally ill, suffering from a devastating condition. They also believe that living according to their affirmed gender identity ignores the reality like Cinderella in a fantasy world. They also claim that the reason more LGBT young people are unhappy is because the Human Rights Campaign encouraged them to self-identify as gay or transgender. They are accused of anti-bullying programs in school promoting homosexuality and creating a system ripe for reverse discrimination. They even created a whole website to help parents fight against programs teaching tolerance towards LGBT students. Focus on the Family declared that anti-workplace discrimination legislation must be stopped because if it passed, employers must face consequences for firing gay people for no reason other than their moral convictions. Focus on the Family wants business owners to have their rights to turn away LGBT customers because they believe their religion requires them to oppose their very existence. And they think LGBT is a particularly evil lie of Satan. President Jim Daly even says marriage equality means the destruction of civilization. Those are the motherfuckers, okay, that are, they're in Colorado Springs. If you want to understand more about how that works. Here, let's look at their let's look at their website. Let's look at their website a little bit more. I want to responding to a gay Christian in the family. What should we say to our college-age son who claims to be a gay Christian? He believes God has told him that there's nothing wrong with homosexuality. First, we want you to know that our hearts go out to you and our prayers are with you in the midst of this painful and exasperating situation. A firestorm and conflicting emotions you're experiencing, crying one moment, angry the next, is simply what we should expect of concerned and loving parents in your position. Freaks, dude. My parents sent me this exact article when I came out. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. Look, listen, like, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, your parents suck, okay? I hope they're more understanding now. Jesus fucking Christ. God damn, dude. Like, what such pieces of fucking shit. How to talk to your children about homosexuality. Resources when your child encounters LGBT ideology at school. Ben Shapiro right there prominently with an exclusive interview from the Daily Citizen, which is a part of Focus on the Family, the umbrella of Focus on the Family. It's wonderful and interesting that, they have this massive network. That's what happens when you have $500 million to spend, right? My parents made me listen to their Coming of Age series. This was done with Pat Robertson. Oh, the original America Deserved 9/11 Pat Robertson. It's kind of funny because, like, Pat Robertson literally said America deserved 9/11 because he agreed with Osama bin Laden. Like, he literally wasn't like, oh, it's the meddling in the Middle East or anything. He just straight up said America deserved 9/11 because they're gay now. Homosexuality is run rampant, and that's why America deserved 9/11. Like, that's the kind of OG. Ganesh D'Souza too, yeah. Is that not your take? Yeah, no, that's my take too, yeah. You're right. I said America deserved it because it's not gay enough, though. That's the difference. You confused me with Pat because we're around the same age. If America was gayer, 9/11 could have been, thwarted. Jerry Falwell said the same thing about Katrina. Yeah, but those guys are patriots. You don't understand. So, like, it's fine that they're saying those things. You know what I mean? Unlike me, a Muslim man, a communist, America enemy.
To the latest on the urgent manhunt for a suspect in the murder of those 4 college students.
Sorry. This account killed a bunch of people today. Oh, yeah. Libs of TikTok, like I said, straight up posted this. Look. They edited it at 5:25 a.m. But they posted this literally the morning of that shooting. This organization in Colorado teaches kids how to become drag queens and helps kids safely experience the art of drag on stage. Colorado State's Representatives Leslie Herod and Brianna for Colorado promoted and encouraged this child drag organization and performance. I just want to say something here, okay? What the fuck is wrong with you, okay? I do not understand what the issue is, okay? It's just theater. It is just theater. It's just theater. You're literally saying, like, I don't want my kids to fucking experience theater, okay? I saw Ursula one time on a fucking Disney show, and I said to myself, no more Disney. No more of that satanic nonsense. Dude, terrible news. I'm going to probably kiss myself watching this Ben Shapiro video as he tries to spin this shit around.
Over the weekend as a gunman killed 5 people and injured 25.
Yeah, terrible news because only 5 people died, according to Ben Shapiro. You know what I mean? Like, he's like,